Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to How to Escape. Rowena here. A little bit of a cold today, sorry about that. Hopefully you enjoyed our last video on the review of the Husky liners, a year and a half in, wear and tear that's happened to them, the benefits on them. Today we're going to be going over how to install an OEM Ford roof rack. Now in front of me I have the pieces for a carbon black set of roof rails for 2013 through 2015 Ford Escape. Now currently on my car I've taken the existing weather strippings off and I have bare bones on the top. I'm going to be doing a step-by-step how to install for the OEM black carbon roof rail kit. Here we go, thanks. First off, I'd like to describe the different parts that come with this roof rack. Now you have your weather stripping that will still go down the existing center part in between the feet of the roof rack. You have your main rails here. You have your back feet, which are right here. You have your front feet, which are right here. You have your center mounting bracket, which is here, which snaps into the weather stripping in between. You have your covers on the outsides for each of the feet. And then you have your hardware, so 2 screws for each foot, 1 screw for each center bracket, and then 2 screws for each back foot as well. So right now we're going to look at how to install the left rail. Now the tools we're going to be using, basic, is a knife, a 8mm socket driver, and a T15 Torx screwdriver, as well as some 3M tape to replace some of the gasketing underneath for sealing and adhesion. So here we're going to be using our 8mm socket, and we're going to be screwing down our midway clip to retain the weather stripping in between the feet of the rack. Now here's your strip, here's the 8mm screw. We're going to actually squirt a dab of silicone in the hole. We're going to get ready to put it in. Now if you look on the side, it says out. Now this little tab with the word out faces outwards towards the side of your car. It's the proper orientation. So we're going to place it there. Screw it down with the 8mm. So now that we have our center snap down bracket for the weather stripping attached to the roof of the car, we're going to assemble the left side rail. So first things first, we're going to plug in our main rail into each foot. And this is the back foot. Now this is where you take your T15 Torx screwdriver and you have 2 small screws which are going to go into these 2 holes here, which will hold the foot into place in the rail. Now we'll do the same for the front foot. There you go, so now you have your feet detached. So now the very next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 Christmas tree rivet screws and take our weather stripping with our hole right here. Alright, so we got that rivet popped in. Alright, so we have our full rail assembled. So here we're looking at the 2 front holes for the feet of the rack. Now, if you just pulled off your weather stripping like I did, you have an exposed hole, but then you also have a filled in hole. Now this is where the knife comes in. So you're going to puncture this seal here, and it's actually kind of a hard, dry goop. There's probably fluid at some point so they could coat it. But just scrape out that hole. So now, what this is, since you've just cleared away the material, you'll look in, but there's no threads yet. So the screw that you're going to be putting in, those 2-inch screws, that's a self-tapping screw, and it's going to bite into this material and cut its own threads. So we're going to do the same on the back as well. So now that we have our 2 holes exposed, I'm going to put a dab of silicone in there for sealant. Another dab of silicone in there. Just top it off. And then we'll do the same to the back. So put a dab of silicone in there. And another dab of silicone right there. Okay, now we're ready for the screws. So we're ready to install the rack. Now we're going to pull off this 3M tape. Do the same on the back. here's the part where we install the rack. So again, the front piece of trim has this little dog leg hanging in the front. We're gonna first hook that into the windshield area and then rock it back. Alright, so the first point of contact, we're going to snap it into the center bracket that we just installed. Alright, and then press down to engage the 3M tape on each of the spacer pieces of foam. Alright, now we're going to move to the screws. So here we're going to take our 8-inch socket again. We're going to send the screw right down there where we just shot the silicone. Okay? And we're going to tap this one. So going to insert the screw until we find the hole. Okay. Here we're going to take our front cover and we're going to take these two pegs and tuck them in here, and then this little snap is going to pop in right there. So we slide that guy in, line up the snap, alright, that's in. Let's go to the back. Alright, so we're now looking at the back. We're going to put in our screws just like we did in the front. Alright, now we're going to do the one we're going to tap. Again, sink it into the silicone. Alright, and then once that's tight, again we're going to take our cover, these two tabs. Alright, slap it down. So now we're going to be installing our crossbars. So we have a T25 Torx driver for this mounting screw for the rear crossbar. And we have these thumb screws for mounting the front crossbar. So now you're going to see on, it's kind of faint, but if you look closely, you have lettering. This says front right here, and this says rear right here. And one side of the rack can expand and collapse. The other side of the rack is fixed. This is to make up the gap so it can span all the way across. Alright guys, so there you have it. The roof rack's installed. It's fairly sturdy, not as sturdy as other racks that I've tested. These crossbars with that sliding back and forth. Not sure how I feel about that, but again, I'll know when I put something up here and test it. Yeah, if you found this video helpful, please like it, please share it, and if you want to come back for more videos, subscribe. You'll get notifications sent to you as they come out. So be looking forward to having you next time on How to Escape. Alright, thanks a lot guys. Have a great night.